Hello YouTube, it's Gavin
and Reed
from Team Encore, and we're doing a discussion video today about cards that we don't understand why people don't play anymore. For example, some of the best five I can think of right now are Trap Hole, Black Horn of Heaven.
I was going to say
Okay.
that.
Whoa, you can say that.
Jinx. He jinxed me.
Black Horn of Heaven, and then Magic Cylinders, old traps like that. It's not like it's obviously as broken as Trap Hole, Eternal Tribute, Compulse, or any of those cards like that, but it still has its place in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't know why it doesn't seem play anymore.
And whenever you do run into Trap Hole, you're fucked.
It's true, because Trap Hole, it stops only normal summons, which seems like it might be bad at first. But think of all the cards that people have to normal summon to start the combo.
You only get one normal summon a turn, and most decks base their strategy around you have to have that normal summon to get everything off. Like the Fire Fist, they still need that one other summon to get everything off. Yeah, they can go Tensu, but then they'd only have one card. Or what else could there be?
I think about the only thing that Trap Hole doesn't stop, in my opinion. I think the only thing that doesn't stop would be Wind Up Magician,
Rabbit,
or Rescue Rabbit.
It'd stop Mermails for the most part.
Yeah, it doesn't stop the Megalo plays.
They can still go plus, but not as much as they can.
Yeah, and in response then, from Mermails, Black Horn of Heaven. Think about all the decks that just poop out their special summons for their boss monsters. There's pretty much no requirement for Black Horn of Heaven, is there? I don't remember.
I don't think so. Could look it up, but I'm too lazy.
Yeah, but Black Horn of Heaven, I feel like it's just a good card. I think it just says whenever a monster's normal summon, you negate it. I think there's 1,000 life points or something going on. But it's a good card. I think some cards like that should still be played.
What happened to people using 7 tools? Remember there's 3 formats where people just main deck the crap out of it.
I don't know.
And it was just so good. I loved drawing into it. It was the first time in my life I'd ever been so ever drawn to 7 tools of the Bandit. And it's 1,000 life points, and you got rid of so much stuff because there was Dem Prison running around, Compulse, Torrential, and Mirror Force. Whenever, Mirror Force would be such a huge part of the game, and then bring it to 2 and no one uses it anymore.
And in which case, if you guys want to talk about something that's more broken than 7 Tools of the Bandit, why aren't people running Dark Bride? Because even though Dark Bride does give your opponent a +1, which can be hefty, if you hit the right thing, then the whole game's shut down for your opponent. If they don't get that plus when they need it, then they're shut down, and you can't. If you can wait for that Dark Horn with a Heavy Storm, they only have 1. Sure, they can get the +1 off, but now you got your field still. So I still feel like cards like that should be run. I run Dark Bride in some decks because I think it's a good card.
I honestly don't see why people wouldn't use things like the Black Horn of Heaven or Magical Cylinder. They brought that back to 3.
Yeah, you don't have to be running a burn deck to make that a good card.
You can OTK your opponent with their monsters.
Which is, I've had happen. Some guy had 3 Magical Cylinders set on me, and I go Trident and Dragion, attack myself for game.
Yeah. And I looked up that Black Horn of Heaven while you were talking to them. There's no cost for that.
There's no cost?
There's
just win it
no freaking cost. It's whatever they special summon.
It's not like your opponent's not going to special summon. Unless you're facing, rock stuns, then they're not going to be special summoning. Maybe Fire Fist don't that much right now.
I should pick up a couple of those.
It's a good card. You're going to stop their special summons.
I only have 1, and after reading that, no cost, I could replace a warning.
Yeah. We got warning down to 1. Let's add a Black Horn of Heaven. Why not?
One of my favorite cards that's on this list here, I've run it in Blackwing before, and it's Morphing Jar.
Morphing Jar, when I started Yu-Gi-Oh!, was my favorite card in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's so good. Slow decks get their plays off. I used to run it in Dragunities back when you basically didn't have any hand advantage because no one had their hands on dualities and no one could get card cards. Those card cards still needs a reprint.
I feel like a king with this goblet.
It's a good goblet. I love that goblet.
I have ADD.
But Morphing Jar,
I'm paying attention. I'm paying attention, but I'm my mind is swirling around.
Morphing Jar, I think it's just such a good card. Even though you're going to discard your hand if you play smart enough with the card, most of the time people don't pop face downs as much as they used to. I feel like even though they still pop, especially marksmans and stuff flying around, most of the time your opponent tries to attack over to get a +1 way or another, like a Guaiba.
Well, a lot of things, yeah, they go for the Guaiba plays. They go for what else?
Spellbook of Power needs to take over a monster.
And a lot of decks have the piercing too, where they don't even care; they just run through it. And my thing, I put it in Blackwings. It was so freaking good. And you gotta discard, Blackwings in your hand. It gave you graveyard control. Set up for Dark Arm plays, Vayu plays, and then you got a new hand.
Yeah, and it really, sure you could give your opponents pluses, but if they can't do much else since it's the battle phase and they've already attacked this turn, you have a whole turn to win. Like, that's what I liked about it so much. Especially, I would think in Chaos decks would be run a lot more, because set Morphing Jar, discard my hand, now I have full graveyard control, draw 5 more cards. Now I have 5 cards in my graveyard I can use to my advantage somewhere or another. Go ahead.
When's the last time
I don't even know who runs Morphing Jar anymore.
Who likes having no cards in their hand, or like 2 cards or 1 card? You get 5 cards in your hand for setting a monster. You can, something I did is set Morphing Jar, set an entire back row, set Starlight. No one's gonna mess with you. Yeah. No one can.
I just think it's a good card. I think a lot of cards like these should see a lot more play, and it's not. Obviously, they may not be as competitive, but I think if you play the card right, it's a good card. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Needs to be more of. Compulse was gone for a dang long time.
God,
no one used to run Compulse. I've run Compulse every day since I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I've never taken it out of any of my decks. I still think it's a great card. And then all of a sudden, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Compulse is a good card." I don't know who used it in their deck to make everyone like it again.
About 3 years ago, I was main decking Compulse and everything. People were telling me it's such a bad card, and I had 8 of them lying around. And I put it in everything. People would hate running into it, and they'd still be saying it's a bad card. Why is it a bad card if you hate it?
Sure, some things still get their summons, but all you have to do is wait for the right time and Compulse.
The only reason, really, why people thought it was bad is because the ignition priority was still around, and now that it's gone, that's what makes it good.
Yeah.
Your opponent loses a monster, and then you get to go up on him. And you can have that extra turn while they lose a monster to finish out the game. That's great.
That's why I think they should bring a lot of these cards, like what they did with Compulse for a while. No one liked it, and I think you guys should start playing more of these cards, because if you play them right, it's gonna be good.
Main deck Prohibition.
Main deck Pro.
Main deck Pro.
Okay.
Well, if you
know what you're playing against.
If you actually think about it, when do you not know what you're playing against within the first 2 turns?
It's true. It's true.
And you know what those key cards are. If you play that, you can shut it down. That's just my opinion. I'm going to continue to side deck Prohibition, but I may start main decking it here soon.
Side these cards. Run these cards.
Side, run, good.
Run them.